No friends, no family by your side. That might be a reality. But it does not have to mean unhappiness. Do you believe that happiness in old age does not necessarily come from laughter, big family gatherings, or daily check-in calls? Sometimes happiness begins in silence, and silence is not the absence of sound. It is the space where you can clearly hear your own inner voice. That is where you learn to befriend yourself, to truly listen to your own needs, and to live in the way you want, without forcing it, without catering to others, and without chasing the fast pace of life anymore. Getting older is not just a long pause in life. It can actually be the most vibrant chapter. If you are willing to change how you live, redefine what connection means, and love yourself a little more each day. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 deep yet very practical ways to live happily in your later years, even if no one else is around. These ideas not only help you overcome loneliness, but also turn this phase into a time of freedom, peace, and deep meaning with your truest self. Before we get started, take a moment to leave a comment below as a positive affirmation. A small but powerful commitment. I choose to befriend myself, or share anything else you want to attract into your life. And do not forget to hit like and subscribe so you will not miss more videos packed with real value and heartfelt insight like this. Now, let us dive into each way of living. 1. Transform the feeling of loneliness into an opportunity for inner exploration. As we grow older, the most noticeable change is not just grey hair or declining health. It is the quiet that begins to settle into life. The phone calls come less often. The gatherings are fewer, and those once familiar names are now only memories. Loneliness seems to become an uninvited companion for many, but instead of seeing it as punishment, take a deeper look. Within that stillness lies a rare opportunity, the chance to explore your inner world, understand yourself more deeply, and live with a richness you may have never experienced before. Loneliness, though it feels negative, is just an emotion, not a destiny. It does not define your worth, nor does it determine whether you deserve to be loved. That feeling of loneliness is simply a signal, showing that you are in need of connection, and that connection does not have to be with others. It can be a reconnection with yourself. Being alone does not mean being abandoned. It can be a sacred space, where you are no longer driven by social roles, where you do not need to please anyone, and where you can finally be your true self. This is the most fertile ground to replant the seeds of your soul that life may have swept away. So how do you tap into that space? First, begin with a morning journaling practice of inner dialogue. This is not just about writing down events. It is a conversation between you and yourself. Ask yourself deep questions. How am I feeling today? What do I need? What am I grateful for? Writing these down daily is like tidying up the house of your mind, helping you see clearly what is going on inside, things you may have never noticed before. Next, try silent meditation. Not the kind where you push thoughts away, but the kind where you listen, sit quietly. Do not try to calm your mind. Just observe what is happening within you, like a loyal friend who listens without judgment. At first, you might feel empty, but gradually, your own presence will become more vivid than ever. You will start to realize, oh, I hurt because of that. I felt joy because of this, and I am still here, whole and full of emotions. Finally, a deeply healing exercise is to write letters to your past self and your future self. For your past, offer forgiveness, express gratitude for the lessons, and give yourself comfort. For your future, plant hope, send dreams, and build strength to keep moving forward. This is more than symbolic. It can stir powerful emotions, helping you feel seen and supported by none other than yourself. Living alone is not scary when you learn to become your own best friend, and transforming loneliness into a journey of self-discovery is the first step to creating a life in your older years that is not just peaceful, but spiritually rich. Because once you understand yourself, You no longer fear the silence. You learn to love it, and you find meaning in even the seemingly emptiest moments. 2. Create a life rhythm you control. One of the biggest traps of aging is not illness, it is the dull repetition of each day, waking up with no idea what to do, eating just to pass time, watching television until bedtime, and repeating that cycle endlessly. Over time, this state not only wears down your body, but numbs your spirit. People begin to feel like they are just existing, not really living. It is a quiet, but very real kind of loss. The loss of motivation, the loss of inspiration, and the loss of the belief that you can still do something meaningful. But here is the good news. You can absolutely break that cycle. The key is not changing your circumstances. It is designing your life rhythm intentionally. Think of yourself as a director, creating a script for each day. When you view life as a stage, and each day as a new scene, then you become the one who decides what kind of day it will be. Exciting, relaxing, creative, or adventurous. You do not need grand plans, just a simple structure with clear intent. One easy but effective method is to theme each day of the week. For example, Monday can be Nature Day. Take a walk in the park, tend to your plants, or simply sit on your porch and listen to the birds. Tuesday could be Creativity Day. Try painting, collaging, or making crafts. Wednesday might be Learning Day. Watch a documentary or read about something new. Thursday becomes Connection Day. Call a loved one, write a letter, or join an online forum. And Friday can be Rest Day. No pressure to do anything, just enjoy a slow, peaceful pace. This way, your week becomes colorful, filled with highlights, and you get the feeling that you are truly living, not just passing the time. Additionally, build a purposeful living schedule. It does not need to be detailed down to the minute, but it should include fixed blocks of time for 3 categories. Physical activities, like gentle walks or Tai Chi, mental stimulation, reading, listening to music, reflecting, and emotional nourishment, journaling, storytelling, or connecting with others. When you give balanced attention to these 3 areas, you are building a well-rounded support system for yourself, keeping your body strong, your mind clear, and your heart alive. And here is something crucial. Choose a life project, something long-term you want to pursue, like a personal journey. Maybe it is learning a musical instrument, creating a photo book of your life, or growing a garden. These are not just hobbies to pass time. They give you purpose, a sense of progress, and a reason to wake up excited each morning. A long-term project brings the feeling that you are moving forward, that you are creating something meaningful, and that, at any age, is a powerful force of life. Redesigning your life rhythm does not require drastic changes, just a shift in how you value your time. Instead of letting your days drift by, build scripts that are intentional, inspiring, and tailored to you. When you become the director of your own life, even the simplest days can turn into meaningful scenes. And that is how to truly live, not just exist, in the most fulfilling way as you grow older. 3. Make your body your closest companion. In our later years, we often hear the phrase, "take care of your health," usually framed as a responsibility not to burden your children, or simply as a way to live longer. But that perspective feels outdated and a little defensive. What if we looked at it differently? Caring for your body is not about avoiding an early death. It is about fully living each remaining moment. It is about living with intention, with freedom, and most importantly, with dignity. When you stop seeing your body as a machine breaking down and start treating it as a precious companion on your journey, everything changes, from how you care for it to the joy you feel in your everyday life. To truly make your body your closest friend, you must learn to listen to it, not with anxiety, but with understanding. A best friend is never ignored, nor forced into anything. Your body is no different. It needs to be cared for with kindness and love, not out of guilt or pressure. That is why integrating all 3 aspects, physical, mental, and emotional health becomes more essential than ever. On a physical level, movement is the first thing to rethink. Many older adults shy away from exercise because of fear of pain or exhaustion. But you do not need to jog or lift weights like younger folks. Gentle activities like slow walking, senior-friendly yoga, or even a few simple stretches each morning can stimulate your body to release dopamine, the hormone that lifts your mood, boosts your motivation, and makes you feel more joyful about life. Most importantly, staying active helps you maintain your independence, something everyone values deeply as they age. Alongside movement, a healthy diet is no longer optional. It is vital for staying alert and mentally sharp. You do not need to follow strict regimens. Just focus on natural, minimally processed foods that are high in fiber and anti-inflammatory. Simple changes like cutting down on sugar, eating more vegetables, and staying hydrated can have a bigger impact than you might expect, not only preventing disease, but also improving your sleep, your skin, and even your mood. And sleep, something often underestimated, is actually your daily recovery medicine. As we age, our biological clock becomes more sensitive, which makes consistent sleep routines even more important. Going to bed at the same time, creating a quiet space, and especially avoiding screens at least 1 hour before sleep will allow your brain to truly rest. A good night's sleep not only gives you the energy to face a new day, but also plays a critical role in lowering stress and protecting your memory. At the heart of it all is this mindset. Treat your body like a lifelong friend. No one wants to live with a friend who feels abandoned, scolded, or ignored. Your body has walked every mile with you, through triumphs, struggles, and exhaustion. Now is the time to look at it with gratitude, care for it with compassion, and listen to it with an open heart. 4. Reconnect with the world in your own way. As old age arrives, many once close relationships begin to fade. Some people pass away, some move far away, and some simply drift apart like the last leaves of autumn. That quiet fear of not having anyone left is very real. But instead of letting that sense of lack define you, you have the power to redefine what it means to have companionship in a gentler, deeper, and more personal way. Start with this truth. Friends do not have to be people you see every week. They do not need to be loud groups always gathering for parties. At this stage in life, simple conversations and quiet but sincere connections matter more than ever. A favorite book you keep rereading, a plant you tend to every morning, or even a shared glance with a stranger in the park. All of these can be forms of companionship. Connection no longer comes from how many people surround you, but from the quality of emotions you experience each day. To reconnect with the world naturally and without pressure, start from places that feel safe and comfortable. For example, join an online forum designed for older adults, a space free from judgment, where there is no need to perform or prove anything. A few comments, a few words of encouragement to someone else, and just like that, you have created a web of emotional warmth. These online interactions may be digital, but the feelings are real. They come from hearts that want to be heard and understood. And you too can be that comforting listener to someone going through the same stage of life. Another great option that allows for both connection and purpose is to join light volunteer work at your local library, church, or community center. These places do not ask much from you, but they offer chances to engage, to give, and to feel that your presence still matters. That feeling of "I am still helping someone" is a powerful emotional boost. It pulls you out of invisibility and reminds you that you are still alive, useful, and meaningful. And if you are someone who treasures freedom and solitude, solo travel can be a beautiful way to reconnect with the world. A short trip to a place you have never been, even just a small town nearby, can open up fresh perspectives. On that journey, you may rediscover the joy of noticing tiny things. The breeze in the trees, sunlight through the leaves, or the taste of a new dish. You do not need a companion because you are the perfect travel buddy for yourself. These solo adventures awaken curiosity, the urge to explore, which is the heartbeat of a soul that is still very much alive. The most important thing is this: you do not need a crowd to feel valuable. Your worth is not measured by the number of people around you, but by the depth of the connections you nurture. A meaningful relationship, whether it is with nature, with books, or with a small but supportive community, is more than enough to remind you that you still belong somewhere, that your presence still matters. And that sense of belonging is not about simply filling the space left by loneliness. It is about adding richness, color, and warmth to your inner world, building a life that feels emotionally whole and personally fulfilling. When you feel connected in even the simplest ways, your days no longer feel like they are slipping by unnoticed. Instead, each day becomes a chapter with meaning, a moment with intention, a day touched by connection, filled with purpose, and alive with real, heartfelt emotion. Sometimes, all it takes is turning inward to realize fullness never comes from the outside. You do not need to do something grand to begin a happier life. Just make one choice. Choose to love yourself. From that moment on, each day becomes a little lighter, a little deeper, and far more meaningful than ever before. If this video has sparked a light in you, offered a pause to reflect, or simply brought a silent nod from within, leave a comment below with a personal affirmation, a little gift you give to yourself. I am enough, even on my own. Or I begin again, starting with myself, today. Or any message that brings you peace. These simple words might just become a ray of warmth for someone else quietly reading along. We are not alone, because we are together in these moments of shared feeling. And do not forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you always have a place to come home to. A warm space where growing older is not something to fear, but a vibrant journey in your own unique way. See you in the next video, where we continue growing together, gently.